Hey guys, it's your girl juuuuuuicy, aka Geek XX Chic. We're back with another reaction to Raised by Wolves. We are now on to episode 3, which is called Virtual Faith. Campion, seemingly every episode, feeling less and less like he can trust Mother. I think he's really having a hard time because he's not really bonding with the new kids that much, but he definitely doesn't trust Mother anymore, and I think he's losing trust in Father as well because Father seems to be taking Mother's side. So it's just kind of all these different character arcs kind of coming together and getting very interesting. And I'm definitely down to figure out where we're going to go from here because Mother wants to move into the tropical zone and the Believers obviously want to settle there too. So I don't think the two can live together, and it's going to make for some very interesting fodder as the season continues. So without further ado, I'm about to get into this episode, but before I do, if you've been here before and you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that that subscribe button. Hit like if you want to. I'm fine with you preemptively thinking this is going to be awesome. But yeah, you can hit that subscribe button, that way you can be notified of when I put more of these reactions up, as well as other videos that I do as well. When all that out of the way, guys, let's get into the episode right about now.
Go back to the ark.
Maybe I can help you.
No, get away!
It's okay. There's no need to be upset.
She's a child. She will feel as she wants to feel.
In time, we'll start our journey to the tropical zone, but we can't leave until Tempest has given birth.
You had to just out her like that?
I lied. I never loved it.
Ooh, we trying to make friends.
I always thought it was stupid.
That's enough! Little pig, let me in.
Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
By the hair of my chinny chin chin, the little pig answered.
Look at Campion lying, saying you didn't like the story. You liked it. I'm also a little worried because I'm thinking that if they actually get to the point where the girl does have her baby, I feel like her and Mama gonna fight over who's gonna take care of that baby, because I don't think Mother is gonna like the idea of somebody else being a mother beside her. That was the Mithraic passengers make a 13-year journey to Campion to depart on the Ark of Haven. Their bodies travel in a state of hibernation while their minds are able to interact with each other. Oh, that's what she meant by the simulation. Okay. Sounds like a good idea, except how did he manage not to, like, slip up and tell the truth? And also, how do you not imagine yourself in the body you don't have?
Why are you talking to me?
What?
You never talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Never you.
Exactly. He's too smart. We have to kill him.
Yes, you can. Stay positive.
But more importantly, why do we have like a family haircut of a mullet? Can we talk about that? Because the future of haircuts is not looking bright, y'all. Why are you like this, Ragnar?
Captain, are you enjoying yourself?
No. My face is just frozen in this weird position.
You see? The big bad wolf she was talking about? It's her. These reinforcements are not for keeping things out.
I feel like there's going to be a switch as far as Campion feeling loyalty to his parents and potentially the pregnant girl feeling loyalty towards the android.
You're just trying to keep us from running away.
The way Campion just spills tea left, right, and center, he is so bad at keeping secrets. Uh-oh. You're making them sick already?
We will engage in polite conversation. Not jokes. Polite conversation.
Damn! Wow! More human by the day.
Oh, go on, admit it. You're glad he picked you.
Wow, you deserve that and then some. Yep, see? Y'all can't keep him alive. So what is it the Campion has? He seems to be resistant to whatever makes them sick on this planet.
But if it turns out that I'm making them sick, I expect you to assist me in destroying myself.
It's true, she's falling apart. Maybe she's got, like, radiation or something. Shh! You don't use his real name in public!
But our side didn't draft Gates. Only the atheists did that.
Bitterness. Okay, so he was an atheist but not happy. Ooh, the plot thickens. Wow. Caleb was messed up. Oh gosh, she's not doing okay, guys. I don't think you can save her. That thing vaporized them. What would they have in the other backs? Is that what happened to his face?
Take off the man. Try to lead her off. Again, engage in necromancer in the open. You will be sheathed by the armor of Metrus. You've nothing to fear.
Shut up! You go do it then!
Maybe send one of your androids instead. I'm sure they'd be happy to make the sacrifice.
Right? Idiot. Plus, if she knows one human life is there, did it ever occur to you she might just scan for more?
Sure did.
He's
The
gonna...
buttons all over the place.
He's gonna trap you in there. Campion's getting very sneaky.
I'm going to count to 3.
What kind of white parenting is this, sir? It never works.
I don't need reassurance from you, robot. Stop.
Is there a problem with my android, Captain?
Maybe. Or you.
Problem. Your Eminence.
She's got some great micro braids, though. Where does an android get it done?
I got you something.
Well, what is it?
It's a mouse.
He's like a disease-ridden rodent. Thanks, Dad.
Smells wriggly.
Do you have time for flashbacks? Get the damn rodent, let's go.
They are souls, children.
That's right. Embarrass him.
Then his children. Of course not.
Of course not.
Time you learned your place.
You gonna teach me, sir? Shall we just rewind to where you were crouching in a cave screaming like a little girl? Okay. You're carrying this fool? Oh, hell no. Someone needs to dump his ass in a pit.
Calm down.
The purpose of that scream?
We tested the carbos, but we never tested the bits inside them. They're radioactive, Mother. And it appears as soon as the carbos are hit, the pits begin to decay, contaminating the rest of the tuber. The Gen 1s were exposed early enough.
You posed. That's what I said, radioactivity, didn't I?
It wasn't you.
Well. I mean, I'm glad he found the source of the poisoning, because then they were just going to continue making them sick, but...
She seemed so upset, like she was really worried about me. I've never seen an android behave that way before.
She ain't your regular android.
There are things alive out there. No one ever believes me because I'm small. But
I know, boo. People always ignore children like they ain't got real things to say.
Have you managed to find that pesky mouse yet, Campion?
Daddy mad. You gonna be grounded till you die.
I'm sorry, Mother.
She's still psychotic. I wouldn't forget. Yikes. What the hell is that? Birdman, Birdman.
If I cannot adequately care for you and the other children, I am of no use to the family. I need to be of use. Do you understand?
It's deep.
Why are you so?
If you can hear me, I want you to scream out as loud as you can.
So I can make your head explode. Oops, wrong mode.
who is that? Peter, is that you? Wait.
Is this boy seeing ghosts? What exactly was in those roots that Campion gave them? Sir, don't go following weird screaming children in a place where you've never seen nobody but robots and yourselves. Ooh. Well, that was fortuitous. Okay, so... was it that those creatures somehow lured him into the pit? Because that would be interesting. Okay, guys, well, that was episode 3 of Raised by Wolves, and it was a very interesting episode all around in the sense that we finally get to see what happened with the surviving crew members of the Ark. It definitely made it seem like everyone would not have survived what happened, but I suppose since they had some time to figure out that there was a collision course happening between the ship and the planet, it looks like some of them were able to go to some portion of the Ark that was probably going to be less damaged than the rest, and thankfully it didn't completely explode. Episode 1 definitely made it seem like the whole ship was decimated, so it looks like we've got a very small group of survivors, certainly not enough to even attempt to try to take out Mother at this point, but it's very interesting to see that Marcus, aka Caleb, and his wife, whose name completely slipped out of my head, sorry. See, their situation's a bit complex for me because as an audience, we know that they are not who they say they are. They are not this boy's biological parents. In fact, they killed his biological parents in order to get their place on the Ark. Now, yes, they did that before they found out he was, that there was a child involved. Do I actually think it would have stopped them? In my opinion, they probably would have still known what they did, because they were of the mindset of we want to survive no matter what. But of course, we saw in the last episode, we learned a lot more about, this one actually, that the atheist side of things was not any more idealistic than the Mithridian side. Like, both sides have their issues. Both of them are messed up in a lot of ways, and it's definitely rolling up into why the Earth ended up being completely destroyed with the two of these factions going at each other. But we got to see more of how the atheists were trained as far as the military. We find out that they did child drafting and making child soldiers, which is just horrible no matter who does it. The fact that Caleb's been through some really harsh, harsh, dramatic stuff in his youth that is, well, really it should have made him kind of crazy, to be perfectly honest, to be out there doing real military exercises before he even finished puberty, to be being put into real missions, watching his fellow comrades and people his own age dying horrible deaths because it looks like they were having maybe reactions to whatever those packs were. What I picked up from that as well is it looks like the atheists were fooling around with technology long before they sent these androids and everybody off into space. It looks like they were also very poor. Like, all of the military and the atheists looked like they were wearing like just, pretty grummy clothes. All of them looked kind of dirty, downtrodden, not really healthy and vibrant. Comparatively to what we saw the Saul or whatever his name is, worshippers, they're glowing, they're shiny, they've got lots, clean, rich looking clothing. They have a whole selection process. They've got their own set of droids. None of them really seem to be that battle prepared from the looks of things. It looks like they use their droids for far more mundane tasks. What did Hunter say? That they were there to do the dirty work so that the humans could just be enlightened and closer to God, or whatever their belief system was. So, very interesting dichotomy. It sounds to me like these religious zealots kind of rose to power and had a lot of money, and they were basically controlling everything. And for anyone who didn't want to follow their beliefs wholeheartedly, they immediately kind of got cast aside and put to the bowels of society, so to speak. And my guess is that the atheism probably rolls through people being like, it's unfair that this group is forcing us to try to believe something we may not necessarily believe in just in order to survive and thrive in this world. That was very interesting to get a little bit more insight into the kind of person that Caleb is. I mean, clearly he's not just some cold-blooded killer, and I didn't think he was, for the record. Like, I know I was very upset when I saw him kill, or the fact that he's killed the parents and then, is just pretending to be Paul's parents. They made it, they really were trying to drill home in this episode that he clearly has fallen in love with Paul as a child and really wants to be a father to him. And maybe it is some partly misplaced guilt over doing what he did. And they definitely kind of also made it seem like with the whole situation where Paul was like, why are you talking to me? You never talk to me, and things like that. Or even where he got the mouse and he was like, I'm not going to kill it, Dad. It just kind of seems like they're pointing out that Paul's relationship with his biological parents sadly was not a very close one. Maybe that feeds into why they sent him away. But it's kind of, I think, trying to make the audience empathize with the fact that these two imposters have just taken over this child's life and are, basically have to live with the secret of knowing that this really isn't their child biologically, but they obviously still care a lot about him and are taking care of him. So it just kind of makes for a very interesting situation, I think, morally to me. Like, in the one sense, you know, will they ever tell Paul the truth? Probably not. But also at the same time, it seems really slimy that they're keeping that to themselves because they don't want to lose their... I mean, at first it probably was obviously for survival, but now it's probably because they also don't want to hurt Paul and they don't want him to look at them any differently. But they still killed his parents. So it's, yeah, it's an interesting moral dilemma, and I don't know how... I just feel like somehow it's going to come out. Anyways, we see that he is, he being Marcus, he's desperate to get these kids back, particularly Paul, and he has let the survivors know what's going on and that this droid is there and that she seems to not be, you know, a typical droid in any sense. But we've got a real coward left. the ranking man in charge looks like he is a little bitch, if you know what I'm saying, and he really just wants to stay comfortable and fat and soft, and he does not want to do anything that risks his comfort and his safety. We're seeing some very interesting dynamics with the children, right? Obviously, like I said, there's the two little girls who are very astutely believers in the faith, and they just don't want any part of anything that mother's got going on. But then, of course, we've got the oldest girl there who's pregnant, and we learned in the last episode that she's got very valid reasons for having a lot of issues with this religious organization. There's interesting allegiances forming here. It looks like she's definitely starting to feel some type of way about Mother. And in fairness, Mother does feel whatever an android's version of love is. Like, I think they've shown adequately that she's evolved some level of human emotions. You know, we saw her screaming and freaking out when the kids left, like a form of kind of mourning and fear. We saw how she reacted when Father figured out that she wasn't poisoning them. Like, she almost cried, you know, or if she almost leaked from her face again. So there is something going on there, and I think we're going to see an interesting, like I said, a splitting off. That, you know, if these religious folks show up, I don't think the girl's going to want to go with them, like, because it isn't an ideal situation for her. And then finally, we kind of have two other discoveries. One is that obviously there is life on this planet, and like she said in the last episode, in 12 years that they've been there, they'd never seen any life before. This is the first time they're seeing them. And yeah, those creatures looked very much to me like they had kind of a human/bird physique going on. Who knows? It might just be alien, but they kind of had the way the hands and the spine in it was set up. It almost looked like some type of primitive human, if you will. And obviously we saw that poor Campion, Paul, fell down a hole after seeing a little girl, or what looked like a little girl, who possibly could have been the same age as Tally when she fell down the hole all those years ago, led him to hollow ground, which put him into what would look like those pits that they've been avoiding since this all started. So I feel like maybe there's intelligent life on this planet, like not just primitive. Maybe there is some intelligent life that's far more dangerous than any of them could have ever possibly anticipated, which adds another element to this show, which I'm very excited for. Very, very interesting times coming ahead, I think. So if you like this video and you liked watching along with me, guys, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more from this geeky face, please click subscribe. Until next time, see ya!